Hey everyone, this is Tom with Fresh Vintage. Today we're talking about 2025 car predictions, and I promise I'm going to stick to the lower hanging fruit. I'm not going to make any wild or outlandish predictions here. Stick around the end of the video because there's a big elephant in the room I want to talk about that could possibly affect everything we're about to discuss. Alright, kicking things off here, we're talking about Honda buying Nissan. This is not a merger, folks. Take a look at their faces here. The Nissan CEO's face versus Honda says it all. This is a buyout, and my guess is the Japanese government is having their say in this as well. Now, taking a look at this photo here, everyone seems to be happier. Mitsubishi's even getting in on the action. And as a side note, how are we still talking about Nissan possibly going under when Mitsubishi is proudly standing on the stage almost as a zombie car brand that somehow is still alive after all these years? But I digress. Not that I'm a huge Nissan fan, but it does suck to see this happening. I wouldn't get too excited about seeing the Honda Titan Pro 4X or the Honda Z in the next year or two, though. I feel like they can course correct with Nissan. That is, if Honda goes through with the deal and they don't actually cannibalize Nissan, but time will tell. All right, next on the list, Jaguar isn't going bankrupt yet. It's amazing to see Jaguar go from building these cars to building this to building these? Honestly, if they painted one new Jaguar white and one new Jaguar black and left it at that with no advertising campaign, they probably would have gotten a lot of praise for their forward-thinking design and blah, 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 blah. But instead, Jaguar pushed all their chips on a terrible advertising campaign that everybody hated. And while I don't sit in their board meetings to know their exact financial details, something tells me they have just enough money to bleed through 2025 before they officially go defunct, so to speak, and get picked up by, say, McLaren, or maybe Aston Martin buys them just for the fun of having the Jaguar name. Next on the list, Stellantis gets rid of Chrysler in 2025. Well, I really hope I'm wrong about this. As a fellow Mopar fan, I definitely don't want to see Stellantis get rid of Chrysler, especially knowing how long Chrysler and how many owners Chrysler has had over the past couple decades. That being said, with so few Chrysler vehicles being produced anymore, it would make the most financial sense for Stellantis to cut them to help trim their bottom line. In fact, I took a ride to one of my local Mopar dealers and I found plenty of Jeeps, I found plenty of Rams, found plenty of Dodge Hornets, I even found two Fiat 500Es that will never get sold, but I only found one Chrysler van in the showroom and two white vans sitting outside, which makes me think they were fleet purchases. That was the only Chrysler presence on the entire lot that I noticed. As a side note, I really wonder how much of a public image hit both Chevy and Dodge are going to take in the modern day 2025 car crowd. With Chevy's 2025 Camaro on the screen here and Dodge's all-new Charger EV getting rave reviews, it really makes me think I'm going to have to become a Mustang fan to keep the V8 powered muscle car dream alive. Speaking of Ford, one more 2025 car prediction and then we'll talk about the big elephant in the room. Please make sure you subscribe, help us build Fresh Vintage, we appreciate that. With Ford putting down a new time of 6 minutes and 57 seconds at Nürburgring in the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD, the question is who is out there gearing up to beat this? We've seen a 2025 Corvette Zora prototype running at Nuremberg, but this was a prototype, and given Dodge's affinity to completely ruin the Charger by electrifying it, really makes me think that if Teen Corvette wants to take a legit shot at trying to beat the GTD's time in 2025, they're going to have to come up with some kind of Nuremberg package for the Corvette, do it pretty quickly, and I'm guessing they're going to try for the actual new lap time record, probably Q3 of 2025. All right, we've gotten through most all the predictions with that big elephant left in the room. The 2025 elephant in the room in my mind is tariffs. Now, when I say that, some people may be scratching their heads, wondering, why am I talking about this? Other people may sort of immediately rolling their eyes out of their sockets, but please hear me out. I'll draw a parallel example to that $60 low buck tablet that you buy at Walmart and other retailers. If we see a 10-20% increase on that, do you really think these retailers are just going to eat that? Of course not. They're going to pass that cost along to you and I, the consumer. And I draw that contrast, and it may affect everything that I just mentioned in this video to the US auto industry. You think about the amount of cars that are getting manufactured in Canada and Mexico, those are being imported into the United States, not to mention any other cars coming into the United States. They could possibly be subject to a tariff. Not just the cars that are fully finished, but think about all the parts and pieces that come into the United States from other countries. They could potentially be subject to tariffs, and as they are assembled on the actual assembly lines in the US, the prices just start ticking up, up, and up. Bottom line, if you're thinking about buying a brand new car now, like right now, right after you get done watching this video, may be the perfect time to go out and get one before we possibly see any actual price increases. Anyway, these are our thoughts, and this is the first time making a video in this style and format, so let us know where you think we got the predictions right, where you think we got the predictions wrong. Please subscribe, and also check out our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. If you've never heard of it and you're into skiing tools, shop equipment, TPMS, smoke machines, jump packs, and a whole bunch more, check it all out over at Fresh Vintage Garage. We'll leave the link for that in the description of the video you're watching now. With that, we appreciate you watching. If you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like tech, Fresh Vintage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.